Thanks for joining me again, guys. Today I want to make some homemade pizza. Now here I already have my ingredients for making my dough. I will prepare the ingredients for the toppings separately after. So for my dough, I'm going to need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of yeast, and together with my yeast I added my sugar. That's 2 teaspoons of sugar there. I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of warm water. So what you want to do is take your yeast and sugar and mix it with your warm water in order to activate that yeast before pouring in that mixture into your flour. So I'm taking my warm water and pouring it in. I'm going to give that a good stir. And you want to leave that for about 4 to 5 minutes to activate that yeast. You're supposed to see it a little bubbly, foamy after that 5 minutes, and that is how you are going to know that it is ready. So I'm just going to cover that and let that sit for about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so while we wait on the yeast to activate, we are going to prepare our dry ingredients. So I'm going to take my baking powder, add that to my flour, take my salt there and add that, and make sure that is mixed in well. Now I don't want to go in with my hands just yet. So I'm just using a spoon to make sure that is mixed around well. And we are waiting for our yeast to be activated. Okay, so we have our yeast here already set and ready to pour in. So you see how foamy that has gotten? I'm going to pour that into my mixture now. Right, I'm just going to mix it around with a spoon first before I get my hands all in there. Alright, so I'm going to use my hands now for that mixture to form it into our dough. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my hands. Okay, so my dough has been formed, and what you want to do is grease that bowl. You can use that same bowl. So I'm going to take out my dough and place it into a plate there and grease your bowl. I like to use some olive oil, right? Just a little bit, and you paste that around into the bowl there, right? So you paste it around into the bowl, and let me just zoom out, right? And you put your dough back into there. You can make sure the dough is greased. back into there, and you're going to cover that and put it into a dry, warm place and leave that to rise a bit. So after about half an hour, my dough has finally risen and it is ready to be rolled out onto a greased baking tray. Now I have prepared my ingredients here for the toppings. Here I have some pre-cooked minced beef, my mushrooms, my cheese. I have here some sweet peppers and some chopped pineapples. Now I am going to be using some tomato ketchup. Now some people use pasta sauce. I'm just going to use some tomato ketchup. Now for my secret ingredient, my 5-spice powder. I usually use a little bit of this to give it that unique flavor. I guess it's not going to be a secret after today. So I have rolled out my dough to fit into my baking tray, and my baking tray is 12 by 18 inches. And I'm going to be placing my toppings now onto my dough. Now some people usually put their ketchup first. I don't like to do that because I realize that when it's finished and you're eating it, the toppings tend to slide off when you put the ketchup first. So I'm just going to be adding my cheese first and my other ingredients, and I like mine to look uniform. Okay, so I've added my cheese, and you would notice that I didn't really grate it. I mean, it's going to melt anyways. I just chopped it up. Now I'm going to be adding my minced beef. So now I'm going to add my mushrooms. So I've added my mushrooms, and I didn't mention that I usually use the shiitake mushrooms, and you can research it. It has a lot of health benefits, and to me it has tasted better than all the mushrooms that I have tasted. So research that. Next, I'm going to be adding my pineapples. Now for my sweet peppers to give it that color. And I have chopped up some red and green sweet peppers. So now you can see all the nice colors coming in there, and I'm going to be adding my tomato ketchup now. So I'm going to take my time and make sure it gets all over there. But that is my sauce, so I want to make sure it has quite a lot. And now for that no longer secret ingredient, my 5-spice powder. I just want a pinch, and I'm going to throw that all over there. So now my pizza is ready to go into the oven, which I have been preheating. I'm going to put it at about 220 degrees Celsius, and I'll see you on the other end when it's finished. Okay, so after about 45 minutes, my pizza is cooked and ready to be sliced and eaten. Now, I usually like to cook mine at a low temperature for quite a while so that I can make sure it's really cooked and that crust is extra crispy. So I'm going to cut it into slices and show you what the underside looks like. Alright, so here's my slice, and as you can see, it's nice and soft. When I press it, it just springs back up. So that is the consistency that you want. On the underside, it's nice and golden brown, so we know it's well cooked. So if you like my video, guys, don't forget to give me that thumbs up and subscribe to get notified when I post more videos.